Hello everyone, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button and it is Junk Journal July time. So I've posted this on my community tab and I think there's a link to Bee Happy Stationery's Ko-fi page, but I'll make sure that that's correct. So this is the prompts, and then I've started to develop my kit. And this is something that even when Meg did it, this is what I did. I would develop a kit and I would think of the things that I would like to include in the kit. Now, because this is a Bee Happy Stationery collab, I am going to be using one of her kits, but not all of, not everything will just be all of the kit. I mean, it's not anyway when I do these types of things. I put my junk in as well, but this is her Hale Herbology kit, and it's kind of like green forest. You can make a journal with the kit, like straight away. You can let it set up that you could make a journal, but there's all kinds of stuff in here. So it's also a little bit magical, and I quite like that. I like the magical elements to it. So there's all kinds of things in there. So I'm going to be using that in some ways. I'm going to dig out some more real Victorian letters, so that'll go in the kit. That's just a scrap. I'm going to go through, I think I have two boxes. I do have two boxes of black and white imagery that's sort of people. Kind of like old-fashioned imagery. Kind of, they're a bit like 1800s, aren't they? Yeah, old-fashioned stuff. I've got some 200-year-old paper. I plan to use that too. So I'm going to have fun. I will have this box as well. Same thing. What I will do is I will go through and choose the images I want, and then I will put the boxes back so that I'm not overwhelmed in that way. I've got lots of boxes of imagery from like 1970s, 60s sort of gardening books, so I think they will find their way in somewhere. What have we got here? This is from my scrap box, bits and pieces I dug out. There are some actual real photographs. So I don't know if we're going to use them. I quite like the idea of that, of turning her into a fairy. And her into a fairy. And they could be fairies, I guess. I think they all could be. So they may replace the other things. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I've got loads of stuff in here. There's packaging. There's real ephemera. There's bits of textured paper, which is actually in the journal. This comes from the journal. I'm going to show you the journal, but we're going to make it on a different day. There's some butterflies that have come out of a book. There is a little bit of Edith Holden, because when I saw the Hale Herbology, I was like, oh, that's very Edith Holden. So I've got Edith Holden, and then I've got this octopus book, which is a fantastic book to get. So it's called Wildflowers, and it has them in colour ways. So they're all like the pinks and the reds, and then the yellows and whites, and then there is like purples, greens, purples and blues. It's an amazing book, and I just think, yeah, we'll be using that. So my kit looks massive. It will get reduced. This is just me thinking, what vibe do I want my book to be? I got this from one of the free libraries in the red telephone boxes, and all the pages were stuck together. You can see here, but it is, look at that. See, I could cut that up, even have the nudie swimmers in the background. Isn't that so beautiful? So there's all kinds of things like that in here from all different genres, and it's precious. Anyway, we're not doing a flip through, but there are also interesting objects. There's like watches and such in here. I do have, I don't know, just magical things. I do have some clocks as well in an antique box of stuff that I've cut out from antique books. So I might, again, I'll dig through and get a selection of things that I think would be useful. I'm not going to have all this stuff on my desk. I'm just showing you what my feeling is. So I kind of want to use the houses. I think I did this did I do this last year? I might have done something similar, but I kind of want to use the houses somehow, because we have got paper houses as one of the, so I think I want to use the houses. Like, that would be nice. I'm not sure how. They could become tags, they could be an intricate part of the, you know, a page. They can be a fold out, you know, like you could artistically fold them in and out. There's all different kinds of ways. So that is what's left of a really large, thick book of stately home stuff. Again, this was really wet and very heavily damaged. I had to throw some of this out. So there's that. We're digging our way down. And then I think this is some flower fairies. I got a book a few hauls back from a charity shop for £1. There was a flower fairies book, and I just think, yeah, it'll go really well with that digikit. It'll go really well with all the other bits and pieces. So there's going to be fairies in it. It's going to be magical. And then this is the book. So let me just move all the stuff out of the way, and we will make this book probably, it's going to be Friday or Saturday when this will get made. And what I will do is what I will do all the time, what I've done before. So I will take elements from this and just things from my kit, and I will make stuff going on here. Now, there's one last thing. I need to represent it with something. I'm going to have stamped elements on book pages as well, particularly like the bees and the birds and the clocks. Probably all of that, actually. I quite like that. So there's that. That's going to go in. But this is the pages. That's just a pocket. I quite like that. That's just a piece of fabric that I have. And I like the colours. And they seem to blend. So I'm just picking things up I like. I have things to fasten this journal. So it's not like a sewing journal. Let me show you it. It was an old album that somebody's actually made. And it looks really handmade. And let me just show you how handmade it is. I'll put the pages to one side for now. But you can see like the cuts of the fabric. It's not straight, like a professional bookmaker's not made that. It's not straight on that edge. It's very homey-madey. I love it, and I thought, do you know what I really love about it is that we will make some books like this. Like you could make this out of cereal packet. Seriously, you just need the fabric and some good glue, and it's sort of 4 panels, 2 large panels. 2 sort of like, these are going to be braces for the pages, and then the spine is actually a soft spine. So when it's sewn up, that's how it opens. Should we put things in? No. So the pages they're not folded, they're just laid flat, and then we will, in that video that we'll do that, we'll punch through. I'll probably clamp them and punch them through all at once. And then they go into the book like that. As close to that edge as possible. This wraps over. We'll put whatever we're fixing there through and tie it. I'm thinking this. This is what I'm thinking initially. But it could be either one. That's what was there. That's the original one, but I don't think it goes very well. I think that can go. I think any of those could go, really. I could even have another dig. This is likely, I'm going to be masterboarding over this, I think, really. I'll leave some of it underneath showing, but I think I will be masterboarding over it. But yeah, isn't that amazing? So it's a different kind of book than I've made, and I honestly think that we can make this, and I might do that at another time, just stash it in my ideas. you know, just for a very simple way to make a junk journal, but a very effective way. So once it's all clamped, let's do it. I'll show you what the pages are made out of. So I went into my paper stash, book pages and just paper, and I found this handmade paper. I was like, oh yeah. So I love the texture of it. I don't know how it's going to hold paint, but I will be wanting to do some painting. And this is roughly the order, but it might not be. I might change it. So then we've got some book page that's about flowers. It's very sort of monotone, and then whitish paper. Then I've got some sort of 1960s gardening paper, which I do know holds paint quite nicely, like that, and it just sort of alternates. So the pages are not terribly interesting, but I like that, this sort of thing for Junk Journal July. I don't know why, I just do. So in fact we can do a bit of futzing. I think I want that folding that way. There we go. Oh, I'll fold it straight, don't worry. Don't worry. So yeah, so there's enough pages. In fact, there's more than enough for all the days. I think there might be 2 extra pages, but that's okay. We can throw some things in and about. So that is going to be 2025 Junk Journal July. Whew. That's going to be hosted by myself at the Vintage Button and Bee Happy Stationery, and a host of other people that are on Bee Happy's design team, some people who we've approached, some people who've approached us. There's a mix of people, so hopefully there will be a video every day. I'll make sure there's a video every day, and we'll have a playlist that I think Bee Happy's going to have the playlist, and we will just be talking Junk Journal July. So I hope you're going to get involved. Please let me know in the comments. Are you going to get involved? In July, there's going to be, because it's our birthday month as well for the Vintage Button, so there will be some other things that are going on as well. There's a slow stitch project that will happen, and there will be giveaways. So there will be a junk journal giveaway, as in junk journal stuff. I don't know if it'll be an actual journal. And there will also be a slow stitch giveaway. So I thought I would do 2. We'll see how that goes. So, are you in it? Let me know. I would love to know if you were going to join in. I think the way that we're going to do, I'm going to do another video on the prompts. And there's multiple ways that you can still watch the videos, but you don't necessarily have to. We're doing it sequentially, but you don't have to do that. How you do it in your journal can be lots of different ways, and you don't have to do every prompt, and you don't even have to just do it in July. It could go on for a bit longer, or you could choose to do some bits now and some bits later, whatever works for you. But we'll talk about that more in another video. It will probably be either at the weekend. It'll be at some point. We've got to work things out. We're getting there. It's the first time we've ever done anything like this. So, like I said to the design team people on Bee Happy's team, you know, please be patient with us. We will get there. Just might not get there perfectly, which is good for our video on Monday. And we will get there in the best way we can. So, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've just noticed that there's a little bit of this thing is in the shot. I do apologise, but I'm not going to talk about this again because it's getting late and I need to go to bed. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know if you're going to get involved. I would love to have a few of you on the journey with me. All right then, everyone. Bye-bye.